गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् आपदामपर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिमुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं गोष्पदीगतवारीशं मशकीगतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्. We are with Hanuman, having entered the Ashoka Vanika, where he had seen the private garden of Ravana, the most beautiful private garden of Ravana. Hanuman had enjoyed looking at it, and he had explored it, and he had come upon an exquisite oblong pool, beautiful lotus pool, which had around it pearl dust as sand. It had steps studded with coral and gems. And there were large mansions nearby constructed by Vishwakarma. And there around, somewhere short distance from there, some distance from there, he noticed a set of trees, the middle of which was a beautiful Shimshupa tree of golden hue, which was surrounded by a set of trees, golden trees, gold-colored flowers, blazing in brilliance. And it was so beautiful that when he went near that, his whole body was lit up like gold. It was bright, and he looked at himself and said, I am all gold. And the sounds that were produced by those wind passing through those trees, he was fascinated by those sounds. It was like the sounds of hundreds of anklets, chal, 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 like that. The sounds was coming from the wind passing through those trees around there. He quickly, the strong-armed Hanuman climbed the Shimshupa tree, and he said to himself, from here I shall be able to observe. Vaidehi might come here by chance. Walking here, aimlessly she may come here. This is a nice place to watch from. So he got on there, that's why we left last time. We move on from there now. The Ashoka Vanika, which was charming with lots of Ashoka trees. The Ashoka trees are not the tall coniferous trees that we think most of us know as Ashoka trees. It's a very different tree. It's got red flowers. It's a beautiful tree. It is there in Ramanashram. You can see it in Ooty. Ashoka trees, champak trees, sandalwood trees, bakula trees. It was a beautiful select trees. Ravana's best gardeners, Vishwakarma, and architected garden. And this was a beautiful pool. And Hanuman thought that this pool is so beautiful, this place is so beautiful. If Janaki is here, she is bound to come here. Sandhya Kalamanaha Shyama ध्रुवमेष्यति जानकी नदी चेमां शुभजलां संध्यार्थं वरवर्णिनी. It seems to me from reading this that he was up there in the tree the whole day. It's not as if he went there and then there she was. No. And then before evening he said, Sandhya kala manashyama Dhruvameshyati janaki nadi chemam shubhajalam sandhyarthe varavarnini. Surely that lady of lovely complexion, that beautiful Janaki, she will come to this spring, this river. There was a subterranean spring that was flowing from near that tree. Surely she will come here. She must be someone who is Sandhya Kala Mana. She must be having her mind would be tuned to Sandhya Kala. So during Sandhya Kalam, she will, if she is here, she will come to this spring, to this river, to this stream, to do her Sandhya rituals. Sandhya. Sandhyartham varavarnini. It looks like in that yugam, there were certain Sandhya rites that the ladies performed as well. Now, whether it is the same thing as a Sandhya Vandanam that the men, that I don't know. Immediately, the thought goes that it would have been the same. One doesn't know. But it is clear that there were certain rituals associated with water, that anyway all rituals need some water. But to purify yourself before you start. But then she would be doing some rituals in Sandhya, and it's also a function of Sandhya Kala Mana. That means her mind would have been tuned to, would have loved Sandhya Kalam. Her mind would have said, if it's Sandhya Kalam, it would have switched on for some reason. She would have looked forward to Sandhya Kalam. It is a function of the fact that you are living in the open. You are living in a village or in any place which is open, then you are under the spell of nature. You do get to see the twilight, the sun, the Sandhya, and it is a moment of magic. Every day, every morning, every night, every evening that you see. And your mind automatically goes silent at that point in time. So Sandhya Kalamana is very natural, especially she has been in the forest also. Come Sandhya Kalam, Rama would have become as silent as a rock. We know that what he was capable of when he did his Sandhya Vandanam. Whole riot can take place, he wouldn't notice. It happened in the forest, we saw. So she is also, Hanuman thinks, come twilight. She should, if she is here, she will come for her Sandhya rituals. Yadi jivati sa devi taradhipa nibanana agamishyati savashyam imam shivajalam nadi. If she of moon bright face is still alive, if she is alive, then she is bound to come to this stream with its pure waters. Shivajalam Nadim. This Nadi with auspicious water. She will come, he thinks. With these thoughts, he is waiting in the tree, his eyes scanning all directions. And the birds are setting up a riot of a song. Evening time. He was peering hard into every single tree that he could see. There are trees of all kinds, flowers of all seasons abounding in that Ashokavanika. The fragrance was filling the air. The fragrance of honey was filling the air, it seems. Valmiki says. It was ravishing the heart of Hanuman. The fragrance was such that it felt like a second Gandhamadana mountain. Gandha means fragrance. Madana means intoxication. You get intoxicated by the smell. That's Gandhamadana mountain, where the Pandavas were born. Gandhamadana mountain. You go to the Valley of Flowers after Hemkund Sahib. You can get intoxicated by the fragrance. People go mad. They lose their sense of sanity for a period. They have to get out of that. And this is Ravana's kind. Sadarsha vidurastham chaitya prasadamuchitam madhye stambasahasrena stitam kailasa panduram प्रवालकृत सोपानम तप्त कांचन वेदिकम पुष्पुष्णन्तमिव चक्षुंसि द्योतमानिव श्रिया विमलम प्रांशुभावत्वादुल्लिखन्तमिवाम्बरम सदर्शा विदूरस्थं. Now we noticed, not very far away, Chaitya Prasadam Uchitam. He saw a lofty circular structure which was supported by 1,000 pillars. Stamba Sahasrena. It was looking like the Kailasa mountain. It was white, this Kailasa. Its platform was polished gold. It had stairs of coral steps. It was dazzling in splendor. It was stealing the eyes of the beholder. Bright and pure, it was so tall. Valmiki says, Hanuman says, Pramshubhavat Ullikhantam Ivambaram. It looked as if that Kailasa-like structure was writing something in the sky. Ullikhantam. Scratching the sky. Who? It was. Stamba Sahasrena. 1,000 pillars. See, in our temples here, many of these things you have to come to South India only to see. You don't even understand elsewhere because it's still here, it's not there. You'll have Iron Kal Mandapam. 1,000 pillar hall. Kambaramayanam was, I think, read in the Iron Kal Mandapam of Chidambaram temple first. The Kambar. Now, if you go to the Iron Kal Mandapam and start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, you will not find 1,000. Now, why are they calling Iron Kal Mandapam? It's an expression. There will be plenty enough for you to think. It's not as if it's just 3 and you are saying 1,000. Yep, many pillars. But in architecture, that's Iron Kal Mandapam. Here there's some Iron Kal Mandapam there. Shrine, Prasadam. Now, not very far from the tree, he is sitting, he is noticing this. Hanuman. And there, he sees a tree, big tree. Tato malina samvitam rakshasibhis samavritam upavasa krisham deenam nishwasantim punah punah dadarsha shukla pakshadau chandrarekha vivamalam. And there under the tree he saw a gracious young lady. How was she? Tato malina samvita. She was clad in a soiled sari. Rakshasi Visamavrita. She was surrounded by Rakshasis. Upavasa Krishna. She was thin with not eating, fasting. Deena. She was a picture of misery. Nishwasanti Punah Punah. She was going on sighing, just sighing. What did she look like, Hanuman? Dadarsha Shukla Bhakshadau Chandarekhami Vamala. If you went out yesterday or day before, or even today for that matter, and you saw the moon, it is the beginning of Shukla Bhaksha. The digit of the moon will be very thin, not very bright, and thin. She looked like that. A question comes to my mind. Our yogi, Mahatma Hanuman, has been sitting here for some time. Now Valmiki says, not very far away there is this prasadam, and then there is this lady who is sitting under this tree. It's not as if he climbed the tree and he saw. It didn't happen like that. How come he did not see? It was a 1,000-pillared prasadam with the writing in the sky, looking like Kailasa, golden platform, nearby a prominent tree. Under the tree she is sitting, Rakshasis are around. Where from he didn't see all this thing? Question comes to mind. Don't ask. Valmiki is not giving explanation. He is just saying this is what happened. That is Maya. The truth may be in front of you, you will not see it. It may be put under your nose, you will not smell it. You will reject it if somebody tells you that is it. At the right time, you see it. God. So that is regular Maya. No, this is a place where Ravana has hidden Sita. Ravana Mayavi. You think you would not have cast a spell that it is not visible? The place where he keeps Sita. It will not be easy to find, even if somebody were to break in through all the security. But at the right time, by the grace of Rama, that Maya will lift and Hanuman will see.